Roberto, non so se hai notato, la disposizione è chiaramente rosso-nera delle sedie, come potete vedere casualmente rosso-nera. Roberto, capito perché? Rosso-nero, le ho messe giù io le sedie, stamattina.
Abbiamo visto delle foto.
Ah, avete visto cosa sono in Piazza del Duomo? No, no Roberto, maledetto. Roberto, nessuno è perfetto.
Però io non vedo. Good morning. We are here to introduce you to this European project, BIM4EEB, and in particular we are dedicating this morning to a series of questions related with the introduction of digital tools for inclusion, affordability, and building renovation. Well, the BIM4EEB project has the goal to develop the BIM-based toolkit to, let's say, facilitate the transformation of the construction sector, and in particular for building renovation, introducing improvement as for reduction of time, cost, and of course, improving quality and performances. In our project, we have developed specific tools for fast mapping tool, so to create the 3D modeling in an interoperable open format, IFC, integrated semantic data, so a focus about semantic web and link data. And the final results is the toolkit, but also the guidelines we will discuss later, and a good follow-up about the standardization and a focus on common data environment, which is helpful for all the stakeholders. May we go to the slides, please?
Are you a design or construction professional? The European research project BIM4EEB has developed a powerful BIM-based toolset for design and construction professionals, owners, and inhabitants along the building renovation journey. It saves up to 20% of time, 15% of cost, and 10% of energy. The renovation journey starts with a survey of the building. At this stage, the fast mapping toolkit speeds up the scan to BIM process and improves data visualization through augmented reality. For the design phase, the BIM4EEB team proposes 3 tools. The BIMeaser tool helps in selecting the right design options for the building's energy refurbishment. Autores supports the design of room automation systems, enabling a more efficient use of the heating, cooling and lighting system. BIM-CPD, the BIM Constraints, Performance and Data tool, supports the design team in checking these 3 key areas of interest. In the construction phase, the BIM Planner software enables weekly scheduling and tracking of the renovation activities on site. And the BIM4 Occupants web application keeps residents and owners informed about the renovation, their indoor home conditions, comfort preferences, and energy consumption. This information is also useful during the in-use phase. To ensure renovation quality, it is important to understand how the building performs afterwards. Along the whole renovation journey, the BIM management system digital platform integrates the 6 tools, helping everyone work together efficiently and storing useful information for the building's life cycle. The tools have been validated at 3 demonstration sites, Italy, Poland and Finland. Visit BIM4EEB website and discover BIM management system and tools for your renovation.
Okay, that's a first introduction about the toolkit we have developed. You have seen the different tools. Then coming back to the presentation, may we go to the next slide? That's the general introduction about the goals of the project, as I said, the toolkit and all the results of our project. Next slide. And this is the framework. So the whole project is going to the end, and here we are to demonstrate the results. We have been in BIM World, but now we are going to present this in this big fair in Brussels. You see the partners, the full set of partners, covering different set of stakeholders, university, research institutes, public administration. We have here Region Lombardy, later to speak. VTT and RISE, UCC-TUD as a research institute, different countries, and also SMEs, Solitaire, Suite 5, one team, speak later in a few minutes. Three largest enterprises, Caverion by CGI, Peer will speak later, and ACE, a European Association for Architects. Next slide. And here is the tool. We have developed the toolkit. So as you can see, the core is the BIM management system, where we have developed a common data environment, sharing information throughout the whole process and the stakeholders, with a specific focus also with the use of ontologies and in data, and also the connection with the sensors on the buildings, as we have done in the demonstration houses, and using IoT. The toolkit is, we have the fast mapping toolkit tool developed in Sweden for the fast mapping of the building, so creating the IFC model, and a specific device we have seen to measure the presence of ducts and lines in the walls. And as for the design stage and the designers, BIM Easier is very important to help the designers for creating the energy scenarios for refurbishment, and two tools, BIM CPD and Outeras, to design and manage the heating, ventilation and air conditioning, BIM CPD, and Outeras for BACS, building automation and control system. For facility management, of course, BIM Planner is very important because it's a location-based work management tool, and BIM for occupants for involving the stakeholders, also the users, the inhabitants in the management. And that's the whole toolkit that we will see. But entering the points, we go to the first step. I give the word to Larissa in order to introduce the questions.
Okay. Now we will have an interactive section with Slido, because we want to know a bit about our audience, not only here, but also online on our YouTube link. So I would please ask you to, So there is the questions. So we have 4 Slido questions for this session. So if you want to participate, you just need to scan the QR code and answer the question. Or if you are in a computer, you just need to type slido.com. And then you access by the code BIM4EEB at NAB. So please, if you can already contribute with your questions, with your answers, I'm sorry, where are you based? Where are you today? So, nice. We have people in Finland, Madrid, Cork, Brussels, Great. Brussels, yes. A lot of people in Brussels. Let's wait a few more seconds.
Of course, people also...
Dublin. Paris. Great to see that. So, okay. Let's move on to the next question. So, in maximum 2 words, what is your current profession? So, if you could type it in, your current profession in 2 words. What are you doing now? Let's wait a bit, a few seconds. I know we have a bit of a delay between us here and the link, the people online. So, okay, development engineer, energy research, scientist, postdoc research, architect research, energy research. Okay, we have a lot of academia here.
Also building engineer, in a case, you've seen some...
Building engineer, researcher. Good.
There are some architects participating.
Architects here as well. Welcome.
Designers, analysts, there are some analysts also.
Analysts, yeah. Great.
Development engineers.
Development engineers. Good. Well, welcome everyone. Good to know you all. So let's move on to the third question. Are you familiar with EU-funded projects? Do you know anything about EU-funded projects? Okay, good. We are starting to receive the answers. Okay, this one is going faster. Good. So now 86% yes. Good. 13 no. Okay. So BIM4EEB is a EU-funded project, as Bruno explained. Okay, 88%. I think we are okay. Let's move on to the final question. So, are you familiar with BIM4EEB project? Do you know anything about our project? We know most of our audience knows what is a European project. No. And now 62% knows about BIM4EEB project. While
40% doesn't know.
38% doesn't know, yeah, so, yeah. 43, so good. We have new people with us. So welcome to the project. I guess we can move on to the panel discussion, right, Bruno?
Thank you. Thank you, Larissa. So thank you to everybody. And we can enter now the discussion with the involvement of the first group of partners. I would ask to come here Davide Madeddu from one team, has developed the BIM management system, and Per Andersson from CGI. Please sit down with me. So the question I asked first, Davide, what do you think about this point? Can the life cycle of the building be better managed by using the tools?
Yeah, good morning. Absolutely. I think that the first thing is about a life cycle is that is about a collaboration, because a life cycle is something that involves people. People's in life cycle is in the past, in the present, in the future of, in this case, of the buildings. And what we have done with our toolkit, with our proposal, is to enable this collaboration using the tools and involve the people that can work in terms of renovation. And for this part, the toolkit offer a wide range of functionalities that can came from basic functionalities to mostly advanced, and functionalities for end users like inhabitants, for owners, and also obviously designers, but also facility manager and the people that will work with the building in the operation phase. And this, from my point of view, absolutely the life cycle will be absolutely better managed with the toolkit, because with the collaboration of all these professionals, also end users like inhabitants, we collect all the feedbacks, and then the design will be better, and also the operation phase will be managed, taking into account all the things, and collect especially the feedbacks from the users that finally are the people that are living in the building, and the end final goal of the project, living better environments.
Thank you, Davide. May I ask you something more specific about the BIM management system and the digital logbook? What do you think that for the future these tools can be useful, just in the way to, of thinking about the life cycle management of the building?
Yeah, going deeper in the functionalities, the toolkit offer an important functionality that is the building logbook, for example, that is inside the BIM management system. And the building logbook, as it says the word, is something that can store all the story of the building. And all the stories need to say, for example, which kind of equipment that is inside the building, which are kind of problems, issues that could be related to this equipment. And this could be important for the end users, because they can say that if something not working and can be replaced, but also for the owners, and that can say where to replace something, where are the issues, and which can be the improvements year by year. And when you have an improved building, and the inhabitant is happy, because they say this improvement also in the bills finally. And we offer a set of tools that can allow to upload, to analyze, and also to simulate the behavior of the building in the time. And the digital logbook, in this way, is the kind of a source of this kind of information, and can serve another important thing that is a buzzing word in these days. This is the digital twin, and serves all the data that can be collected to the digital twin, that basically is an item, an element that you can simulate how will be the performance of the building if we can change something, and how is the performance now of the building, and then you can control it.
Thank you, Davide. I ask Per Andersson from CGI in Sweden about fast mapping tool. What do you think? How fast mapping tool can help the management of the building?
Okay, this is a little bit
the microphone.
Okay, a little bit more from the technical side of the
No, just take them out.
Okay, will you hear me now? In the more technical part of it, we have created a toolkit, the fast mapping of building. And with that toolkit, we could create IFC files from scanning. We use 3D scan, and we also could scan what's inside the walls, and show that on AR device, HoloLens. And when you could see that, what's inside the walls, you can put some, where is the electricity, where is the beam, where is the metal, and so on, then where is heat and cold. And after you have made that research, you could have more information about the building inside the renovation and so on. And with that one, you can put it and see when you are inside the building. You can see all of this in a 3D view with when you are in the building with HoloLens, with the AR glasses. And last of all, you could put this one into David's system and show where is everything and have a collection of it. So our toolkit is based to create all the IFC files to get it more usable in the future. It's like more scanning device and so on.
Thank you, Per. Now we go online because our other partners are speaking from their countries, in particular Kostas Sasakis, speaking about from Suite 5, is speaking about BIM4 occupants. We go now for the connection. I ask technician to go for the connection. Hi, Kostas.
Hello.
Okay. So and with the Kostas, we have in this second set also Teemu Vesanen from VTT. Hi, Teemu.
Good morning.
And well, at first about this. Other tools, BIM4 occupants and BIM planner, which are linked because we have developed a specific tool dedicated to the exchange of data between the owner and the facility manager with inhabitants, and that's why we discuss with VTT and Suite 5. So I ask to you, Kostas and Teemu, how the digital tools could facilitate inclusion and accessibility for all during the building renovation. At first, Kostas, and about BIM4 occupants. What do you think about this?
Yes, hello Bruno, hello to all.
Hi.
One of the key elements of the project, and actually one of the main innovations, is, as you said, to ensure that all stakeholders in the building should participate in the whole renovation process. One of the stakeholders that was not involved in this process is the building occupants. And what we did in the project is to develop a tool that may facilitate building occupants to be an active contributor in this chain, in the renovation chain, having the tools to get informed about the activities happening inside the building, meaningful information that is made available in a personalized way for them, getting insights about the different renovation processes that are planned or happening, and also providing means that, apart from getting information, being able to actively contribute by providing feedback to this process. So when it comes to the active contribution, we talk about users being able to update information about the building information model, so they can provide information that is valuable for the BIM management and therefore contribute actively on this process, or even further, and this is the part of the collaboration with other tools, come into a process of discussing with other business stakeholders, like the constructors, in order to set together to commonly define a plan for the renovation activities. So this tool is very important because it includes also the building occupants, who are the ones that will consume at the end the renovation activities, together with other stakeholders in the whole value chain. And I leave the floor to my colleague Teemu in order to provide more information about this collaboration.
Thank you, Teemu. Thank you, Kostas. Teemu, about BIM Planner developed by VTT.
Yes, thank you. I would like to highlight the visualization aspect that Per also mentioned. So with the BIM4EEB tools, we can visualize things, making them much easier to communicate that way. So BIM Planner, for example, that's a tool that uses a location-based construction management methods. So it helps to plan and communicate the renovation tasks to the clients and occupants visually. So every task and subtask in that renovation have a defined location where they happen. And these tasks and their locations and their statuses can then be visualized in that three-dimensional building model that is created in the process.
Thank you, Timo. But we can go straight with you with the next tool developed by BTT, BIM4EEB. And the focus now is shifting to the energy aspects and the comfort aspects related with the user. So can the digital tools contribute to climate goals by improving building energy efficiency and the buildings performances used by the inhabitants? Timo, what do you think about thinking about BIM4EEB in particular?
Of course they can. So, and they of course contribute all the time. So I think it would be very important to include detailed and dynamic energy simulation to as many building design processes as possible. It is the only way to really know in advance how the building will actually work when it has been renovated and the new systems have been installed. And when you know that in advance, then you can make changes when things are still in the design phase. And then you can see that if the solution doesn't fit that specific building, then you can find another solution. Of course, the challenge with that is that creating those required models for existing buildings can be sometimes costly, but that is where the BIM4EEB toolkit will come to help. So fast mapping tool in the beginning will help to map the building, and then the data is stored in the BIM system, and then we have the BIM4EEB tool, which was on our responsibility. So that is the tool to collect all the data that is available, and then push it into building simulation software to actually simulate the building. So it makes the process much faster and cheaper than without this tool.
Thank you, Timo. Speaking about energy and the performance of buildings, but also about heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, I would ask Brian O'Regan from UCC, the University of Cork, which is the tool, which is about the tool developed by University of Cork, BIM-CPD, in these directions, energy, but also performance and comfort.
Good morning, Bruno. I suppose firstly, when you look at the national and EU and even the Sustainable Development Goals, we need to look at the information that we're providing. So we need to gather knowledge, and this knowledge is coming from the data that we gather from buildings. So from gathering this data, we can say apply performance evaluation in the BIM-CPD tool, but also looking then at an aggregated building level of looking at the building stock as a whole, we can contribute to national policy and EU policy, etc.
So but specifically for the BIM-CPD, which are the functionalities you think can be useful from the designer point of view and also the facility manager you would like to highlight?
Yeah, so in the BIM-CPD tool, we have a module that looks at data management, and if you look at all the different types of data in buildings that come from meters or from bills, etc., you know, they're all in different formats. So in the data module, we look to actually put that into a format that's easier for us to analyze. And in the performance module, then we were able to do analysis on that data to provide that knowledge that people need to see how their building is operating.
Oh, thank you, Brian. Thank you, Timo. Then we can go back to Brussels. I'm here with Roberto Lenzo from ALER, Region Lombardy, and Andrea Mainini from Politecnico di Milano. And we now go to the real application of the toolkit on the demo site. And in particular, we have applied the toolkit to 3 demo sites in Italy, Poland, and Finland, but focusing on the experience on Italy. I would ask at first Roberto if the building renovation can be more affordable by using digital tools.
Okay. First of all, Sorry for my English. Good morning. I'm Roberto Lenzo. I'm responsible for the heritage area of Aller. Aller is a public authority controlled by the Lombard region and is mostly with social housing. Aller owns and manages about 18-mile apartment in the provinces of Varese, Como, and Monza, Brianza. Aller is the owner of the Italian Demoside, located in Monza, Via della Birona. The building has been renovated during the project and the whole BIM4EEB toolkit has been demonstrated. During the renovation activities, the experience we had with some specific tools, BIM Planner, BIM for Occupants, Fast Mapping, and the BIM management system was positive. The BIM4EEB project is clearly an innovative project that will still have to be assimilated both by the operator, companies and professionals, and the inhabitant. Despite the problem encountered, it has been demonstrated that the tools and the BIMs can be useful to manage a renovation in a general sense, and in particular can help the response of other operators to the tenants. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Roberto. And I ask Andrea about this. Andrea has followed the specific activity of the demonstration, also with the help of course, Prochem in Poland and also Temo or VTT. Andrea, what do you think about this?
I think it's important to deal with cost, obviously, because if we want to increase the renovation rate in Europe and we have a fixed amount of resources, we need to cut the costs and we need to reduce them. And so this is what we have done in our project, because we have clearly demonstrated that it's possible to save time. So if it's possible to save time in the preliminary phase, like inventory, design, but also during the operational ones, it means that we are saving man-hours, and man-hours means cost. The effectiveness of the toolkit was proven, and also my colleagues that comes before me have clearly highlighted which are the benefit that we can have. So I would like just to add that it's important in this sense to to involve people that are at site, because this is a cost saving in a sense that the people that are pleased about the work will complain less, provide some solution, have a positive approach, and as we have tested, they also were able to participate in the renovation. So we have firstly tested participative approach for renovation that is, I think, a premiere or something quite new.
Thank you. And we have some little minutes. I know that we have measured specific KPIs, and I think it was successful from this point of view, the results. I remember that about time, cost. Can you just summarize these interesting results by our project?
Yes, we're talking about the Italian demo site. And specifically, we have a reduced time and cost of almost 28% respect to a standard intervention or similar intervention that happens in Italy. And this is a good result in this sense, And it was due to the fact that we have applied the tool, mostly to the fact that we have applied the toolkit. So this is a good result in this sense.
Good, thank you, Andrea.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Roberto. And then highlighting our view to the regional level and going to the next step, I would ask, thank you, Roberto, Andrea, I would ask Giuseppe and Alberto to come with me. And now we go to the general view and one of the results of our project, which are related with the benefits for public bodies and private ones. And then that's why I would ask Region Lombardy, Giuseppe Barletta from Region Lombardy, and then we go to Alberto Pavan. But at first, with Giuseppe, what do you think about the possible benefits for public bodies like Region Lombardy using BIM? Please, Giuseppe.
Sorry, but my spoken English is not so good. I wanted to respect your ears, and for this reason, I prefer to speak in Italian, and Alberto or Bruno will translate me. Thank you. Ok. Prima di rispondere, una semplice introduzione per chiarire qual è il ruolo di Regione Lombardia, perché Regione Lombardia è un ente di governo regionale che si occupa di tutta quella che riguarda la parte normativa, di gestione e di programmazione di interventi edilizi sul patrimonio abitativo pubblico.
Already this is difficult to translate, but in case, I try. You have told a lot of things. So Region Lombardy does a lot of things. So is ente di governo regionale. So regional body for the management of what?
Social housing.
Social housing?
Yes. Social housing for the population with very low income.
Okay, you have already translated. Go on.
No.
Go on.
Ok, regione tra i comuni e le ALER, che sono gli enti regionali che intervengono nelle politiche abitative.
That's important to mention that under Region Lombardy we have on one side ALER, which are managing all the asset, and also the municipalities you mentioned. That's very important because they are operative on the
in Regione Lombardia ci sono 160.000 alloggi pubblici.
Okay. 160,000 apartments, public apartments.
Yes.
These are of social housing.
La maggior parte di questi sono tutti degli anni 70, quindi un periodo in cui, diciamo così, gli aspetti energetici era l'ultimo dei problemi.
Okay, most of them are from the 60s, 70s, so after the Second War, where there was no law about energy efficiency, so these buildings have a lot of problems about energy performances, and they need refurbishment.
Quindi nel tema di BIM4EEB, riuscire a intervenire su questi alloggi con uno strumento che al tempo stesso permette la programmazione, l'intervento edilizio e la gestione è molto importante.
So it's very important to have a tool, like in this case the BIM4EEB toolkit, which can help Region Lombardy, but also all the stakeholders, ALER, but also and municipalities, but it means the whole supply chain, because finally we have all the constructors and designers, and to support the whole supply chain to manage this intervention for energy refurbishment, facilitating it, as we have seen, with the cost reduction, better energy performances and cost and time reduction.
Beh, infatti poi uno degli elementi fondamentali del BIM è la possibilità di condividere i dati. Yeah. Allora, le ALER e i comuni, digitalizzando attraverso il BIM il loro patrimonio abitativo, mettendo in comune i dati con Regione, che è un ente di governo, il BIM può essere quello strumento attraverso cui Regione può programmare gli interventi anche dal punto di vista finanziario.
that's very important what you said, but because using BIM and BIM, not only the model but the information management and sharing is very important, because using this and the common data environment, later we talk about this about with Alberto, that's very important to go on this approach, because this is a very good opportunity for public authorities like Region Lombardy to share the information with the municipalities, with ALER, and that's useful for Region Lombardy, because sharing this data, it's easier to plan, to schedule expenses and the management of the activity and the costs.
Anche perché poi, avendo i dati certificati permettono di finalizzare gli interventi, e quindi riuscire a capire esattamente dove intervenire vuol dire, appunto, come si diceva prima, come detto adesso, ottimizzare i costi, e soprattutto, visto che parliamo di fasce di popolazione bisognose, il fatto di ottimizzare i tempi e i costi ha un'immediata ricaduta positiva sulla qualità della vita degli abitanti, che, ripeto, spesso la stragrande maggioranza è la parte fragile della popolazione.
Okay. We can say that there is a benefit for the public authorities, but there is a big benefit for the inhabitants, the citizens, because finally there is a cost reduction, time reduction, and we are speaking about social housing, where which is the part of citizens which is the most fragile part of citizens, very old people, and maybe people going around Europe, and then this is the social more difficult part of citizens. That's very important to optimize the investment by Region Lombardy, to optimize the activities, reducing also the risks and the troubles for people.
Poi un altro aspetto fondamentale attinente con il tema della riqualificazione energetica, il problema della fuel poverty è da un po' che esiste, ultimamente è diventato un problema impellente, quindi intervenire efficientando in maniera veloce gli edifici vuol dire anche un riflesso immediato su quelli che sono i costi energetici degli inquilini, ed è un riscontro immediato.
Yes, of course, focusing our attention on this type of buildings, it's a benefit for the population, for the citizen, also for the energy performances and energy saving opportunities. Okay, thank you, Giuseppe. I may introduce my colleague, Professor Alberto Pavan. Is also chairing the Italian working group of UNI, which is the standardization institution, and for this role is participating at international level to the SAN Technical Committee 442, which is the BIM1 at European level, but also the ISO level, and also we are cooperating with Building Smart for exploitation of the results of our project to the international level. But I would ask you some words about, let's say, the benefits also for the public sector, so the supply chain. What do you think about the results, the use of BIM4EEB results, but BIM in general also, considering that our results are going to the standard bodies, and considering that we are cooperating with the whole supply chain. So what do you think?
But I think BIM is really important for the public administration if they think to BIM not like an overstructure they have to use because it's a law, because it's a mandatory, but is because it's something help them to work in the real life, because they have a lot of works, they have a lot of law, especially in Italy. In Italy, public administration have a most law probably in the world, and they have to use BIM to help in the works and not because it's mandatory to use. And in BIM4EEB, we look at in two ways. So we help the public administration and the private owner too, because we focus it in the first time not only in the project CDE and in exchange information requirement and in a business execution plan, because this is the end of the part of the process. So we have when you have a project and so when you have a contract. But it's really important if you want to happily really the BIM and the digitization in your organization, you have to define before another kind of CDE. So a new CDE look at the asset, and the BIM management system is a CDE look at more to the asset than to the project, and look at to the semantics, because this is a new way to help to a CDE is 19650 asked to us at the stage 2 is not a CDE like a repository of the document or of the file, but is a place where you could really manage the data. So if you want going to the stage 3 or the pass level 3 of the pass 1192, you need a CDE work on the data and not on the file. And our CDE, BIM management system, is really probably the first one, because the commercial one uses only the files, the repository functionality, and not the data management functionality at the best of the tools. And in the other way, so we probably first, we wrote a guideline for the public owner and for the private owner. And so not only the BIM execution planning, because the BIM execution planning is on the project, is on the contract. You have to define the rules before going to the project, because before the management of the asset, and when you have to manage your organization, who you are, which kind of data you really need, and which kind of data your supply really need and really have to give to you at back. So we wrote the guideline, probably the first one, private and public, and we talk to matching the result of the European project and the standard body, because we define a connection to all the results, not only for BIM4EEB, but of all the sister projects, to be a start in the basic line to a new standard in CEN 442 about the semantic and probably about the digital logbook and digital twin and so on. So I think we have this kind of big result, the guideline and not only the BIM execution planning, a new kind of CDE, not on the project, but to the asset, and using data and not file, and in the ending, the connection between European project and European standard body.
Thank you, Alberto. You just mentioned also the cooperation we have developed with the sister project. That's important because we have tried as much as possible to share our results at standardization tables, but also with the cooperation, with the help also of ACE, with the sister projects, 6 of them, and also Sphere in particular. With Sphere, we have entered the International Association for Digital Twin, thanks to this cooperation, and we are cooperating for the next activities as for a different publication at the international level, and in particular, what you mentioned, a standard dedicated to the semantic web and ontology, which is very important, where we are working also with the support of TUD there, Dresden, and Visual Link. Thank you. Thank you all. Then you have seen a set of contribution by the partner. I would ask Larissa to go to the final session for the Slido session with the final questions very quickly, and just to summarize and to have a feedback. Thank you, Larissa.
Yes. So now we will go back to Slido. So we have 4 final questions, but I would also like to remind that you can make questions in Slido. We have a Q&A box. So if you have any questions for our experts, for our partners and our project, please just let us know. Just add your questions to the question and answer box. So our first question, it's how important is the role of building occupants in the building renovation process? So how do you think the building occupants can be involved in the renovation project? Do you think this is important? Their involvement is important? So we are receiving already the results. Okay, so just to clarify, 1 star, it's not important. 5 stars is highly important. So we have, 4 and 5 stars. For 60% of our audience thinks it's very important. So, and 30% highly important. 70% now. Okay. We are still receiving the responses, and some numbers are changing, but okay, highly important. It's increasing for 43%. Very important, 57%. Okay, good. So I think we can move on to the next question. So, how important is the role of digital tools to enhance the role of occupants in the renovation process? So, how the digital tools can can improve the role of the occupants in the renovation process? How important it is? So, can digital tools help in that? Do you think they are important? So we are receiving the results now a bit faster. Okay, so highly important. 53% of our audience think it's highly important. 40% very important. 70% it's okay. So I guess we can move on to our third question. Okay, so here is which tool discussed today would you consider using? So you heard a lot about our tools, so our BIM management system, our fast mapping toolkit, the BIM Easier, the BIM for Occupants, the BIM Planner, and Alteras. So would you consider to use any of these tools? So we are receiving the results now. Okay, so yeah, the BIM management system, yeah, going very well. Fast mapping toolkit, BIM Easier, Alteras, BIM for Occupants, BIM Planner. We are receiving the results, so 57% of people, 50% who can use the BIM management system would like to use the BIM and would consider to use the BIM management system. 25% BIM fast mapping toolkit. 19% Alteras, 6% BIM Easier, 6% BIM for Occupants, and 6% BIM Planner. Okay, I think we can move on to the last question. Okay, do you think that initiatives such as the BIM4EEB are the right tool to bring digital innovation to on-site professionals in the design and construction sector? So, do you think our project can help, can bring the right tools to on-site professionals? So let's see. Yes and no. Okay. Yeah, we are. I don't know, but we cannot see the results. Let's see. Voila. Yes. 100% yes. Very good. Very, very good. Okay. So, yes, just to remind you, we have the question and answer box. We still have no participation, but if you still want to ask anything to us, just let us know. And
okay.
I think that's all.
Okay. Thank you, Larissa. So we have seen a lot of points related with the BIM4EEB, the question. So I would ask the audience if there is some question, some curiosity. Do you need some information more about BIM4EEB? Oh, there is one. Can you give the microphone, please? Also, we have all the partners here or online. Oh, thank you, please.
I would like to know your view on the interaction of your toolkit and your proposals with the authoring software in the market. How do you see this interaction?
Oh, thank you. That's very important question, because this was one of the first discussion when we were starting developing the project. Because on the market there are a lot of authoring tools. Some are used depending on the range, on the choices of the different, let's say, companies. Like, for example, Revit or ArchiCAD or Allplan. But the point for us is to develop something which is open, interoperable, in order to allow everybody to show the authoring tool who wants, but to give designers, constructors, all the stakeholders the opportunity to share the data in a common language, which is IFC, which is the Open Interoperable BIM, created by Building Smart and endorsed by the standard institutions like ISO, the ISO Technical Committee 59, Subcommittee 13, which, with the support of UNI. Alberto Pavan is here representing UNI, but also the different standard institutions in Europe to support a common language in order to allow all the stakeholders to speak the same language and to avoid misunderstanding about the meaning of the entities. So that's a very good working developed with TOD about the mapping of the entities, attributes, and that's why we are working at European level with the SAN Technical Committee 442 in order to share our results and to improve the communication of information and data, as Alberto said, at international level. I don't know if I have... Oh, maybe another question, please.
Yes, if I may also... I would like to know how you see according to building typologies, which are more suitable for applying your tools and processes for renovation.
Well, about this, Giuseppe already told something about the buildings which were built after the Second War, 60s and 70s, which are usually blocks. And in this case, well, there are good opportunities. For example, if we think about energy saving, usually the point is to have using ATICs, for example, for the vertical walls, And there is not difficult to work on this like that. And of course, refurbishing of the windows is not a big problem. The point is about the buildings constructed before the wars. Because there are some problems. We were discussing also with Region Lombardy about the good importance asset of the buildings after the First War, which were little villas where the decoration, the external decoration is protected because they are cultural heritage. So in this case, we have been working on internal super insulation materials in order to insulate the external opaque walls with very thin insulating materials, like, for example, aerogel. And this was a previous European project we have developed, EASY, where we have applied this insulation system using BIM, with the same system, just to creating the IFC model with a laser scan, so scan to BIM, and then giving to the producers directly the requirements for the manufacturing. So BIM to come, we can say, in some way. In any case, this is a new trend. Or in any case, it's very important to close the circle involving the whole supply chain, the constructor, general contractor, but also the supplier and the producers. That's the future. So I don't know if I've replied sufficiently to the questions. Temo, do you want to add something?
I'm not sure why I got the view, but maybe an example about the relationship between our tools and the commercial software. So BIM Easer is one example that we didn't want to reinvent the wheel, so to create a new building simulation software. But we knew that of course there are good tools available already. So we selected one as an example and started developing this BIM Easer tool to work on side of that, so that it collects the data and puts it into the building simulation tool, and it is separate, so that it would be relatively easy to start using BIM Easer also with some other commercial tool or available tool. So that would be just changing the interface a bit, and then it would work.
Thank you, Temo. Larissa, you told me that there are some questions.
Yeah, we have a few questions in Slido. And the first one, what will happen to the tools after the project end? So I was wondering if David, would you like to give some words on this?
Yeah. About the tools. At the end of the project, basically, there is a planning about what to do. Basically, now the tools are developed in terms of something that is a prototype, how it can work. And our goal as a consortium is to find a way to develop further and present the final results, another results, improvement of the platform to be used, for example, for public authorities, as saying Roberto from Region Lombardy, that this kind of platform could be very good to apply in the public authorities, to have something that could work as a middleware, for example. And also Alberto, when say about that we are not dealing just with managing the files, just documents and so on, but just managing with data. And now the platform can collect all the data of the existing buildings, and then we can use and analyze first, simulate how these buildings can be improved, how this building can renovated, and then finally to answer when the project ends, the next actions are to speak with the public authorities, to present the project, and to propose to apply the results of the project, to exploit these results in their organizations. And to do that, maybe we need a step further. And maybe this could be useful and can be used also to other, giving other research, asking other funding or other things that can help to enhance the functionalities and things like that.
Thank you, Davide. Larissa?
Yes, well, we could continue to the last question. How long these tools are can be accessed to the public, by the public? Can the public get access to them now?
Yeah, I can speak. I can speak for our side, that we are first the developers of BIM management system. One team has developed the BIM management system. We started with the concept of this kind of system could be open source. And this is important for a European project, as European funded something that could be useful for everyone. And we started with the idea of open source. Then the tools can be assessed in terms that other developers can take this solution, exploit, and use it. Also, organization can ask to implement the system inside the organization. And then this could be applied also with for other tools, with the licensing of functionalities and so on. But yeah, finally, this tool can be accessed to the public, where we intended the public as the main interface could be organizations, from designers, public authorities that also have designers inside their organization, or also another important thing could be also to try to use this kind of system inside the academics, for example. As we know that there are some commercial tools that can be used and trained also in the universities. This could be another training tool where we can do learning courses in how to deal with a common data environment, how is the exchange of data between tools, how to try to implement the common data environment with the commercial tools, and so on. This could be used also as a training point, as an open source. This could be applied also in academics.
May I add that about the future of the project, of course, we are interested to go on in this fruitful cooperation on this network we have created. And of course, as Polytechnical, we are chairing, and then we are going on for publication. For example, in a few weeks, with Andrea, will be in Melbourne to present the results in the International Congress of CIB. And that's important, so for dissemination and communication, not to stop here, because we will go over for publication at international level, and also standardization. The activity of the standard activity with Alberto Pavan will go on, and also the cooperation with Region Lombardy, we hope will be fruitful for the future, because about the guidelines we are discussing about that's improving in any case, or giving a contribution to the public authorities to go on using BIM for future. We have to remember that BIM is mandatory more and more in Europe. we forgot to say something for public works. That's why all public works in a few years will be obliged to go on BIM. That's why in Italy we are cooperating with a lot of public authorities, but I think for Europe. And the other point is about also thinking about improving the toolkit, thinking about, let's say, the goals of Europe, Green Deal, energy efficiency, digitalisation. So the future will be an effort for development, research, to have improved tools, more and more with a higher TRL, so more and more on the market, because of course, as Davide said, we are speaking about a prototype, is not on the market, but for the future, I hope that some of these tools will be on the market, and that about this, we will support this effort. I don't know if Larissa, do you want to add something?
No, I guess we answer all the questions. We have a last video to show. So before that, I would like to start thanking everyone that was involved. Build Up team, of course, the New European Festival, New European Bauhaus Festival, which we are part in a side event. All the technical team here, the partners, people, the audience at home, thank you very much for having us. Bruno, do you want to have final words before the video?
Yes, also I associate about this thanking. I would like, of course, to thank at last ACE, so the Architect Consortium, European Architects Consortium of Europe. I always forget because there is the French one, the English one. Larissa De Rosso and Veronica Schröffler. I don't remember the family name is very difficult. Veronica is there, but she's very important because she's managing the contact. She's the head about dissemination and communication. She's there, but ACE was very important for the project and for managing this event. Thank you all, and we can go to with the video.
BIM4EEB has developed a set of tools to make building renovation projects more efficient and effective. The online tools support building maintenance for public and private owners, inhabitants, designers, construction, service and facility management companies. The tools were tested and deployed at 3 demonstration buildings in diverse climates in Europe. The 3 buildings are in Espoo, Finland, Harjuv, Poland and Monza, Italy. During the renovation of the Italian demonstration building, Patrizia helped her mother to use BIM4 occupants. The application allows her to access personalized information and historical records related to home temperature, humidity, illuminance, and indoor air quality collected by sensors installed at her house. The app also enables residents to keep up to date with work and renovations being carried out on their building and report any hazards or renegotiate scheduled work.
Avevo l'app che mi era stata data per poter giostrare il discorso dei serramenti, quando farli venire, come poter avere la disposizione per poter chiedere i permessi, perché lei da sola non la lasciavo.
Sensors at all demonstration buildings collected data available in the BIM management system and used by BIM4 occupants and BIM planner.
During the renovation process, I used 4 different tools. BIM management system, which help us to share data of the project. BIM planner, which make easier the planning of the project, and BIM CPD and BIM4 occupants, which help us to manage the data collected by the sensor.
BIM Planner provides a digital environment to share up-to-date information about plans and site progress operations with all participants of a renovation project. The BIM4EEB Fast Mapping Toolkit uses augmented reality to scan existing buildings. Using a sensor stick and headset, architects, engineers, and construction professionals can collect data of hidden elements inside the building walls, such as studs, water pipes, and electrical ducts. At the site in Finland, BIM4EEB was used to access and compare several energy refurbishment design options. In the early stages of the design, the tool facilitates the decision-making process, enabling architects and engineers to provide solutions that best fit the client's requirements, while optimizing the energy use and comfort indoors for the occupants. In Chorzów, Poland, the BIM CPD tool was used with its three main functionalities: the constraint checking tool, the performance evaluation tool, and the data management tool. BIM's BIM management system stores and makes information available from different relational databases to the 6 BIM4EEB tools. In Monza, on-site refurbishments include a new coat of insulation on the facade of the building and external windows replaced with new PVC windows. The BIM4EEB toolkit enables more transparency in public procurement, communication among stakeholders throughout the renovation stages, increasing productivity, better management and coordination of information generated by renovation projects. Sensors provide accurate information which increases the efficiency of the renovation process. Better activity tracking throughout the construction process reduces disruption on site and can potentially reduce costs. For more information, access the BIM4EEB website and follow us on our social media.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, bye.